In part two of this section, we're going to focus more in depth on the sequences as well as series. And to start off this video, we're going to talk about this formula that is going to make finding terms in a sequence much easier. So this is used for the arithmetic sequences. You want to make sure you write this formula down. I'm going to go ahead and label the different parts. This formula says a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. A sub n is the final term you're looking for. A sub 1 is the first term. D would be the common difference. And then n is the term that you're looking for. So final term, okay? And so all you have to do is fill in what you know and then use this to solve. And this is going to allow you to solve for any term in a sequence. It could be the 5th term. It could also be the 210th term. And this is going to save you a lot of time rather than using your calculator, adding and adding and adding over and over again. So in order to use this formula, you have to know the first term and the common difference. So let's look at the example. It says, find the 12th term of the sequence 9, 16, 23, 30, continue. And so if I want to find the 12th term, that is going to be the n value. So I'd write a sub 12 equals our first term would be 9. That's what comes first, so a sub 1. 9 plus the common difference is what we add, remember, to each term. So to go from 9 to 16, I'm going to add 7. To go from 16 to 23, again, adding 7 each time. So that's going to be what we plug in for D, so 7. And then we already said N was 12 because that's the term we're looking for. So 12 minus 1. So now we've plugged in everything we know. We're solving for A sub 12. And that's going to get us 9 plus 7 times 11. And that gets us 9 plus 77, which we know is going to get us that a sub 12 is equal to 86. And then we're finished. And of course, you could have done this by hand, added 7 12 different times, and that would end up with the 86. But it's much easier to just plug into your formula and do the quick calculation. And especially if I were to ask you to find the 110th term, you wouldn't want to add 7 all the way to that term. So use the formula and then you should be good to go. We can also use this formula to fill in missing parts of the terms or of the sequence. So an arithmetic means is just another way of saying all the terms between two of the terms in the sequence. So I've got this example here that says find the arithmetic means in the sequence, and it starts with -8, and for what we need ends with 22. So there's some key things we need to know here in order to solve for all those missing items. The first thing we know is that -8 is our a sub 1. Okay, so that is our very first term. We also know that we're ending this term with 20, or the sequence with 22. And in this case, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So we know that n is 6. We know that a sub 1 is -8. What we don't know is the common difference. So we need to find that. And if we can find the common difference, then we can fill in all of those blanks. So what we're going to do is use our formula from the last page. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. And then we can solve for the common difference and fill in the blanks. So we just said that the 12th term, or sorry, the 6th term was 22. Our first term was -8 plus d times 6 minus 1. And the reason I plug in 6 is because that's the 6th term. And now I can go ahead and solve. If I do that, we get, let's see, 5d. I can add 8 over. That's going to get us 30 equals 5d, and then divide by 5. And that gets us that the common difference is 6. So what that means is I'm going to add 6 each time to my first initial number, and that can fill in the blank. So -8 plus 6 is going to get you -2. -2 plus 6 will get you 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. And then 10 plus 6 is 16. And it should work out, if you've done it correctly, that 16 plus 6 does get us 22. So the arithmetic means are these four numbers, -2, 4, 10, and 16. So this formula here is very useful, not in only just finding one term, but also finding the arithmetic means, which are multiple terms. And it's all about what you have in the equation. So plug in what you know and then solve.